Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, Muhammadin bin Abdullah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du, fa salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We praise Allah and we ask Him to pray on our Prophet Muhammad bin Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. So we continue in our lesson, that is ruling of Ramadan, ruling of fast. So today we start by, if someone his work is traveling, like a pilot. All the time they are traveling from country to country, from the city to city, or driver of the bus who his work, his job is traveling all the time. So if he have residency, he have some town or some city to live, so is allowed to him to break his fasting while he traveling, while he have some location. But if he's on the road all the time, every day on the road, so no way he go, no way, no, he don't have any location, he don't have any city, so he don't have any address. So this person is not allowed to him to break his fasting because they're traveling. Because if he breaks his fasting, we don't have what time he will fast, because all the time he's on the road. So this person not allowed for him to break his fasting, because his address or his home reach him all the time. His home is on the truck, or his home in the bus, or his home in the airplane, because all the time he is not traveling. He don't have any address. You don't have Chicago, his home. No, all the time he go to Chicago, from Chicago to New York, from New York to Dallas, from Dallas to Houston. All the time the traveling, all time of the year. This person, so not allow for him to break his fasting because traveling. But if you have location, if you have address, so he can break his fasting. But when he is in his home, in his address, so he can pay the day he miss it in Ramadan. So he make an example for that, like someone who work in the post. So he take the mail from the city to city all the day. Every time he's traveling between the cities, and like some taxi driver or some bus driver or the pilot. After that role, the role for the traveler, someone was traveling, he come from his traveling daytime of Ramadan, like he come back from the traveling like 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. So he was without fasting. He did not fasting that day, but he come. So he say it's better for him to hold himself to eating and drinking until sunset. So why for that? Because for respecting sanctity or privacy of the month. So it's better to do this. Meaning, if he continue to eating because he was not fasting, it's okay for him, but it's better to hold himself from eating and drinking until sunset to respect the month. So after that, the rule, if you start your fasting So the Fajr come, you start the fasting in some city. After that, you travel to another city. So he say the role is the city where you are. The city where you are. So you have to follow the rule. You have to break your fasting with them, not the city where you live. So like someone, he start fasting in New York at 5:30 a.m. Example, 5:30 a.m. So this time Chicago in 4:30. So when he comes Chicago, so New York break his fast like 6 o'clock. Example, 6 o'clock p.m. This is 5 o'clock in Chicago. He don't say, oh, I start my fasting in New York. So the people right now in New York, they break their fasting. Me too, I break my fasting. This no. You have to wait to break your fasting where you are right now. You are in Chicago, you have to wait. The people of Chicago, when they break their fasting after sunset, you break your fast in that time. Don't say, I start with the people in New York, with the brother and the sister in New York. So now they break their fasting already. I break my fast too. No. You follow the rule of the city where you are. So this was the rule about traveling, fasting, traveling. You know, to fast and traveling, Allah give Muslims the favor, make it easy for us. So if you are traveling, don't fast. But if you fast, it's okay. The Prophet ﷺ say, if something is, Allah make it easy for you. If anyone take it, that is good, alhamdulillah. If you don't, you fast, no sense with you. You can fast. But if you have difficulty in the fasting, it's not allowed to fast, because this religion, Allah make it easy. No any difficult in this religion. وَمَا كَانَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. So any difficulty in this deen. So it's easy for you. So because the traveling is not something easy, Allah give you discount and make it easy for you. If you are traveling, don't fast. But if someone say, I will fast, it's okay, you fast. But if this can be very hard, is very heavy for you, it's better to stop fasting in that situation. So now he will go to rules of the sick. Someone is sick, the rule of sickness in the Ramadan about the fasting. So he say, كل مرض خرج به الإنسان عن حد الصحة يجوز أن يفطر به أما الشيء الخفيف كالسعال والصداع فلا يجوز الفطر بسببه. He say, any kind of sickness, you can break your fasting. So if you don't have healthy, you can break your fasting. But if it's a light sickness, like headache, so very light headache, or you have cough, something like this, so it's not allowed to you to break your fasting. So the sickness, what you will get difficulty with your health. So you break your fasting before that. But the light, like a very light headache, so it's not allowed to you to break your fasting. So if the doctor confirm for you that you cannot fast because your situation, so you have to stop fasting. So, or you have some sickness, same sickness, someone had it before, so he have difficulty in the fasting, so you can stop fasting because this sickness can hurt you and give you make you in trouble, so you can stop fasting. Therefore, if when you do fasting, so your care, so to get healthy will be delay, because you get fasting, because you fasting, it's better to stop fasting. So you are sick, you want to force yourself to fasting. But if you do fasting, so this sickness, you don't get recovery fast. So it will be delayed because of the fasting. So in this situation too, you have to stop fasting. So, and after Ramadan, when you get health, so you pay the day you miss in Ramadan. You say even is makruh to you if you are sick, so to fasting, because in this situation you hurt yourself. The deen is easy. Allah make it easy. وَمَا كَانَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. So Allah make it easy for us. If you are sick, so don't fast. That is better, but it's for yourself. So we look at you, if it hurt you, so make you in difficult, make you in trouble, so we will tell you stop fasting. That is better than you do fasting. And another role, he'd say, if fasting make you, so take you to coma, so you cannot stay without eating. So when you do fasting, so he make you in a coma. So he say, in this situation you have to stop fasting. But if you force yourself, you do the fasting, and during the daytime you go to coma, so, and after you come out from the coma, so he says your fasting is good. Your fasting is still good, while even if you go to the coma, your fasting is still good, while you don't eat and you don't drink during coma time, and they don't put you any injection who replace the food. And another rule, if someone he cannot stay without eating, so he is some people that have sickness cannot stay without eating. Every hour have to eat something, or every 2 hours have to eat something. So this person can stop fasting if he's scared to die. If he's scared to die if you don't eat, because every hour you have to eat, every 2 hours you have to eat. So 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5. So he will be very close to die. So if he come into this situation, it's better for him to stop fasting and eat. If that sickness is continuing with him in all his life, he have to feed the miskin for every day he miss. But if he is temporary, like only this year it happened for him, so he will wait when he gets health, alhamdulillah, he will pay the day he missed. But if he is continuing with him all his life, so he cannot do fasting, he will feed the masakin, he will feed the poor people for every day of the month of Ramadan, 29 or 30 days. After that, he say, the sick person who he have the hope that someday he will get care, someday this sickness he will finish. So this person, he have to pay the day he missed in the Ramadan. Like Ramadan come, you start fasting 1 week, 2 weeks, someday you get sick. So In this situation, you stay for 1 month, 1 week without fasting, 7 days. So later, you get care, you are okay, you start fasting to the end of Ramadan. And after Ramadan, the 7 days you miss, you have to pay that before next Ramadan. You have to pay that before next Ramadan. In this situation, it's not acceptable to you to feed miskin, because you get health after Ramadan. So to feed the miskin is only for 2 people. First one, who his sickness, he don't have any hope that this sickness will finish before he die. This person, so he feed the miskin. Or someone is become very old, 100 years or more than 100 years, become very old until he cannot stay without eating, or he cannot stay without drinking, or he cannot stay for long without taking some medication. So this person, he feed the miskin for every day of Ramadan, 29 or 30 days. But he do 30 days, that is better. And another rule is someone gets sick, but after he get care, he become okay. So, and he have time to pay that day after Ramadan, but he didn't neglect until the death come to him, until he died. So he say they will take from his money to feed the masakin, to feed the poor people. So the day he miss in Ramadan, if he miss 7 days in Ramadan, they will take his money. So before al-miras, before the heritage, they will take the amount to feed poor people from his money. But if someone of his relative say, I will fast behalf him, he say his fasting behalf him is okay, is authentic. So this for the person who neglect. He was sick in the Ramadan, yes, but after Ramadan he get discovery, he get recovery. So he get recovery, but he neglect until he died. He don't pay the day he miss it until he died. So as the Prophet ﷺ say, "Man mata an siyam sama anhu waliyuhu." So anyone die without fasting something, so his relative will fast behalf him. So this rule for who is sick. So, and now he will talk about the old people. He say the old people who have any power to fast, he say he have to stop fasting because they're not fast, and he have to pay, he have to feed poor people for every day. The amount of feeding is 1 mud. When you say mud in Arabic, 4 mud is 1 sa'. In our language, what we say mud, this Arabic is a sa'. So mud is look like if you fold your hand like this. This is the amount of 1 mud. So this is 1 mud. So you have to give that for poor people. Or you cook the food and call poor people, come eat 30 people one time, or every day you feed one until 30 days complete. You do that during Ramadan or after Ramadan, all is authentic. It's not obligatory to do it during the Ramadan, you can do even after Ramadan. But anything, so something good like this, you have to do early. فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. So the good thing have to rest and do it. So don't be late to do. So this is old person who become very old. But if someone become very old until he don't have mind, some people they become old until the mental no have mental. So this person, so don't fast and don't feed any poor people, because the fasting, we say the condition, the requirement from the requirement you have to have mental. So if someone no have mind, no have mental, so this person, so we don't say to fast or to pay to feed the poor people for every day he miss. So after that, from the rule, he say, if the enemy come to Muslim country, they want fight. So the military, so in the Ramadan, the military, if they do fasting, they will be very weak. They cannot attack the enemy. He say, it's Allah for them to break their fasting to war, to break their fasting, to fight the enemy, even if they are in not traveling, like enemy come to Muslim city. So the soldier, the military in the city, in the Ramadan, if they go to attack the enemy, which they hang up, they don't have power. They will be very weak. So he say, it's Allah to them to break their fasting for fight the enemy. And after that, from the rule, he say, anyone his reason to break his fasting, so it's clear, like someone is sick. Everyone know that this person is sick. So he say, even this person, he break his fasting in the public, no problem for that. But if someone, his reason of break his fasting is not clear, like our sister in a period of time, so no one know that he is in a period, so it's not Allah to break his fasting public. Don't eat in the public and not drink in the public while you are in Ramadan, because the people, they don't know you have any reason to break your fasting. So yourself, you know, and maybe some people in your house, they can know, but not everyone, the public don't know why you break your fasting. They see you wearing a hijab in the Ramadan. Daytime in Ramadan, you eat in the public, you drink in the public. So this Muslim, now we Ramadan, why don't fast? So they don't know reason. You can break your fasting, but eat hidely. Somewhere no one see you, and drink somewhere no one see you. So don't do that in the public, because the people will say something against you. So this was the role of what Allah gave us, like easiness to break the fasting. After that, he want to come to intention. Intention. What fasting cannot be authentic if you don't have intention at night. So he say, it's condition to your fasting become authentic. Any fasting is obligatory. Any fasting is obligatory. You have to make intention during the night before Fajr. Like fasting of Ramadan. Fasting of Ramadan is faridah, is Wajib, you have to do intention at night before Fajr. So, and fasting, if you want to pay, like you miss some day in the Ramadan. So after Ramadan, you want to pay that day. So you have to do intention during the night, from sunset until before the Fajr. You have to do the intention that tomorrow I will do fasting, paying the day I miss in the Ramadan. No, someday you wake up, you realize that is Zuhr time. Oh, from the morning, from the Fajr until this time, I did not eat, I did not drink, and I did not do anything, break fasting. Oh, I will continue the fasting. This will be the payment of the day I missed in Ramadan, did not acceptable. So this situation is accept only the fasting of nafila. Fasting no obligatory, but any fasting obligatory, like fasting of Ramadan or fasting to payment, you pay the day you miss in the Ramadan, and fasting of kafara. The kafara, there are many things, like someone he swear by name of Allah, he don't do something, but after he regret, he won't do. So you have to do fasting for that. If you want to do that fasting, you have to make intention at night before the Fajr. And before the Fajr, and start fasting. No daytime, you say, oh, from the Fajr until now I did not do anything break my fasting, so I will do this day for fasting of my kafara, did not acceptable. So this will accept only fasting of a nafila, because the Prophet ﷺ, sometime he go to his family, his wife, our mothers, and ask them, do you have any food in the morning? So all of them say, no, we don't have any food. So the Prophet ﷺ say, then I am fasting. So I will continue fasting until the night. So he say to pronounce the intention. Pronounce intention is bid'ah, is something. So the people brought to the deen new is bid'ah. So the intention is placed in the heart. So you think in your heart that I will do fasting tomorrow. I will fast tomorrow. This is enough. No need to say I will fast tomorrow, Ramadan number 7, and or I'll fast my kafara. No. Intention in the heart, in your heart, that this fasting, I will fast tomorrow, or I fasting this fasting for my kafara or for my payment, what I missed it in the Ramadan. This is enough. It's not allowed to you to pronounce the fasting. No fasting, no even as-salah, like some people when they start salah, salatul isha qada'an la ada'a lillahi rabbil alamin. All this is not necessary. Qul atu'allimuna Allah bidinikum. Do you teach Allah your religion? No. Allah knows already that you will pray that. You have intention that you pray this al-isha. This in your heart. No need to say. So after that, about the intention, he said, intention not necessary for nafila fasting. If you fast for nafila, no need to do intention, but if you do intention at night, that is better. But even if you don't do intention, like morning you come and you don't have any food to eat, you say, I will fast. So this is acceptable. The Prophet ﷺ was doing that with his family. And another rule, he said, anyone start some fasting is obligatory fasting, like you start already fasting of kafara, or fasting of payment of Ramadan, or you start fasting of day of Ramadan, he say it is obligatory to you to complete this fasting. You don't have to break it, except the reason you get sick or you travel, you can break your fasting. So if you fasting, you start fasting. If you start fasting of your obligatory fasting, you have to complete it, except for reason like you get sick or you travel, or our sister have period. Before he complete the fasting, he break it, but don't break it without any reason. This for obligatory fasting. But if your fasting is nafila, no obligatory fasting, so is Allah to you to break your fasting. Like this happened for some of people in the Prophet time. So their fasting was nafila. So some people bring the food or call them to the walima. He eat that food. This was nafila fasting. But if it's kafara, or you are paying the day you miss in Ramadan, is not Allah to you to break this fasting. You have to complete it. And another rule, he say, in the beginning of Ramadan, so the first day of Ramadan, you never know that Ramadan start until morning. You go to work, or you go to school, or you go to Masjid and the Zuhr time. So you get the people already fasting, and they say, oh, last night they sight the moon. Or he say, oh, I don't fast. So he say, in this situation, the time you know that Ramadan start, you have to hold yourself. You have to hold yourself from eating and from drinking and from anything can break your fasting. So, and after Ramadan, you have to pay that day, because you do not take induction at night. So you do not take induction at night, that you will fast. So in this situation, when the Ramadan finished, that day you have to pay. After that, another rule, he say, the person in the jail, on the prison, so if he know that Ramadan start by the news, so he say have to do fasting, because you are not able to go out to look for the moon. So you have to depend on other people, the news that Ramadan start. But if you don't have anyone will help you, you don't have any thing, get information, so he say he try to do his best to know the Ramadan is start, then start fasting, because this situation maybe happen with some people. They are in the jail of some non-Muslim country, so you don't have any information to know that Ramadan start or not. So you try in your best to know Ramadan start. If he cannot, so he do what he can do to start Ramadan. So after that, he want to talk about when you have to break your fasting. You say when sun, so when the sun is despair, this time you have to break your fast. That is meaning sunset. So you are looking to the sun. when the sun comes down and disappear completely, immediately you have to break your fasting. Don't say, still there the red, still there the red. This red is effect of the sun. This no need to say that. Just you confirm that sun set, you have to break your fasting. And you have to hold yourself from eating and from drinking immediately when you know that Fajr time it starts by Adhan. So if you are in a masjid or you hear the masjid, like some country they call Adhan in the microphone, so the speaker go outside. If you hear Adhan, this meaning Fajr starts. So you have to hold yourself, you have to stop eating and stop drinking. Or if you follow your app, you have to stop eating and drinking while you know that Al-Fajr time is start. But he say there are something the people they put there. They put like 15 minutes or 10 minutes before Fajr time. They say this imsak time. I think in a very many app, this is bid'ah. So fasting time, as Prophet Sunnah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, start by Fajr. When Fajr Azan call, this fasting time start. No before that time, 15 minutes or 10 minutes or even 5 minutes. They say this in case this is not acceptable, this is something new, this is bid'ah. So have fasting time start by Azan of Fajr. When you hear Azan, the fasting time will start from that time. After that, last rule tonight is say some country or some city so he say any city or any country they have daytime and nighttime, so they have to follow this timing. So while they see the sun, while they have the nighttime, they have to follow that. Even if daytime is very long, so sometimes daytime become very long, like 17 hours, 18 hours. So don't say this is long and break your fasting before sunset. This is not acceptable. You have to wait until sunset, then you break your fasting. While you have daytime and nighttime. But the country who don't have, some country, sometimes they have 6 months only they are in nighttime, or 6 months only in daytime. So this country, they follow the nearest country to them. The country who very near to them, they follow that, who have daytime and nighttime, they follow that country. So when that country sunset, so they break their fasting. When they are in the Fajr time, so they start their fasting. So unless that, no acceptable to the country. Sometime in the summertime, they have very long daytime, very long. Some of them even they will stay and then daytime 18 hours. Only they have 6 hours at night. So even that they have to follow. So they have to complete the fasting in daytime. They not allow to them to break their fasting before sunset. So today, inshallah, we stop here. We ask Allah, may Allah give us better understanding our religion. Wallahu.A'lam. Sallallahu sallim ala Muhammadin. Walhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أذان والعفو.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.